Hello and welcome to my channel. In this video we are going to solve 4 questions from Binomial Expansion which had appeared in Cambridge 9709 Pure Mathematics 1 paper. This video covers the questions from February, March and May-June 2025. So let us start with the first question now. Find the complete expansion of 2x minus 3 over x, the whole term raised to the power of 4. Now for this expansion, we are going to use a formula. A plus b to the power of n is equal to a raised to n plus n1 a to the power of n minus 1 times b to the power of 1 plus n2 a to the power of n minus 2 times b square plus it goes on till you reach n and a to the power of 0 times b to the power of n. Now here n represents the given power. So in this case, n is going to be equal to 4. A represents the first term of the bracket. So here, a is going to be equal to 2x. And b represents the second term along with the sign. So b is going to be minus 3 over x over here. And if you observe carefully, the power of a starts with n, that is the power given over here. And it keeps on reducing till it reaches a power of 0. On the other hand, the power of b in the first term is 0, so we do not see any b term over here. But from the next term onwards, the power of b is going to increase. So here we can see it is 1, then 2, and so on till it reaches the given power. So here we have to completely expand this given bracket. And remember that whatever power is given, that is 4, the terms you are going to get in the expansion are going to be 1 more than the given power. So you should get a total of 5 terms. So let us start plugging in the values by using this formula now. So this is the given question, that is 2x minus 3 over x raised to the power of 4. Now using this expansion formula, we have written the first term, that is a is going to be 2x raised to the power of n and n is 4 over here. So 2x raised to the power of 4 plus, now for the second term we are going to write n is going to be 4. So 4, 1 times, now a is 2x. Now you can see the power of a is going to reduce by 1. So here the power was 4. Now here the power is going to be 3 times. Now b is going to be negative 3 over x raised to the power of 1 plus. Now let us write down the third term, 4 and 2. So if you look at these brackets given over here, here the number is going to increase by 1 till it reaches the same power. That is, we have to keep on expanding it till we get 4 and 4. So the third term is 4, 2 times a to the power of n minus 2 becomes 2x. Now the power reduces by 1. So 3 becomes 2 times b square becomes negative 3 over x the whole square plus 4, 3 times 2x. The power again reduces by 1. So 2 becomes 1 times minus 3 over x. Now the power of this b term increases by 1 giving us 3 plus 4 and 4. Because we had 3 over here, it is going to increase by 1, giving us 4 and 4 times 2x. Now the power from 1 reduces by 1, giving us 0 times negative 3 over x. Now its power increases by 1, giving us 4. Now this is the last term of the expansion because we have reached this term where we get the same power in this bracket, that is 4 and 4. You will find this formula in the formula booklet that will be given to you in the exam. So let us begin with the simplification of each term, starting with the first term. So here 2x to the power of 4, this power gets distributed to 2 as well as 4. So here you need to know the basics of laws of indices. So if you want to go through the basics, then you can click on this link where I have explained all the laws of indices in details. So here 2 to the power of 4 is 16 and x to the power of 4 gives us 16 times x to the power of 4 plus. So let us check the value of 4, 1 now. So here this bracket is being put as 4, then shift and C, that is combinations, and 1. So remember we are going to put this bracket as 4C1, similarly 4C2, 4C3, 4C4 and so on. So for this term 4C1 gives us the value as 4. So here we have written 4 times. Now here again the power gets distributed to 2 and x. So 2 to the power of 3 gives us 8 times x cube times. Now minus 3 to the power of 1 is minus 3 over x to the power of 1 is x itself. Plus, now let us check for the next term. This will be written as 4c2. So 4c2 is going to give us 6 times, now 2 square is 4 times x square times, now when we take an even power of a negative number, the negative sign becomes a positive sign. Since 2 is an even number, this negative becomes positive. Now the power gets distributed to the numerator and the denominator, giving 3 square as 9 over x square. Plus, now the third term. So let us see the value of 4c3. So 4c3 is going to give us 4. So we have written 4 here, times 2 to the power of 1 is 2, times x to the power of 1 is x, times, now remember that a negative term raised to an odd power like 1, 3, 5, 7 and so on remains as a negative term. So we have written minus over here, and the power again gets distributed to the numerator and denominator, giving us 3 to the power of 3 as 27 over x to the power of 3. Now the final one, that is 4 and 4. So here let us write 4c4, which gives us 1, and 2x to the power of 0. Again using the laws of indices, anything raised to the power of 0 becomes 1, times, now this is an even power, so the negative term becomes a positive term, and the power gets distributed to the numerator and denominator, giving us 3 to the power of 4 is 81 over x to the power of 4. So this is the value of the last term, since these two have become 1. Now let us further simplify this. So here the first term stays the same. So we have written the first term over here. Now here plus multiplied with a negative sign gives us negative. Now 4 times 8 times 3 is going to give us 96. Now 1x from the denominator cancels 1x from the numerator. So x cube becomes x square, plus 6 times 4 is 24, and 24 times 9 gives us 216, and x square from the numerator divides the x square from the denominator, giving us plus 216, plus, now here again plus with a negative sign gives us negative. So 4 times 2 is 8, and 8 times 27 gives us 216, and 1x from the numerator divides 1x from the denominator, making it x square. So here we get the fourth term as negative 216 over x square plus 81 over x to the power of 4. You can also write this expression as 16x to the power of 4 minus 96x square plus 216 minus 216. Now this x square we can take it to the numerator, but the power becomes negative using laws of indices. So here we get 216 times x to the power of negative 2 plus 81. Now taking this denominator above, we get x to the power of negative 4. So either you can write the answer this way or this way. Now the B question is, hence determine the coefficient of x square in the expansion of x square plus 5 times 2x minus 3 over x, the whole term raised to the power of 4. Now we have already expanded this bracket, so we have to multiply the terms of this bracket along with this bracket, and when we expand them, we have to get the coefficient of x square. So this is the first bracket given, multiplied with the expansion of the second bracket, which we had got just now. Now we have to multiply them term by term in such a way that we have to get the x square term. Now do not expand all the terms, just expand the terms where you get the x square term. So let us see from the first term now. So x square multiplied with x to the power of 4. Remember, again laws of indices are needed over here. So if x square gets multiplied with x to the power of 4, now the powers will get added up, giving us x to the power of 6. So wherever the terms are getting multiplied, the powers will get added. Now since we do not need the x to the power of 6 term, we are not going to multiply these two terms. Now let us check with the next one. So x square multiplied with negative 96 x square. So x square times x square, the power is going to be x to the power of 4. Again we are going to discard it. Now x square times 216 gives us 216 x square. So we are going to take this term because it gives us the coefficient of x square. Now let us multiply x square with this term. So it's going to be x square multiplied with negative 216 over x square. So you can see the x square from the numerator gets cancelled with this x square in the denominator, giving us a constant minus 216, which is not a coefficient of x square because we do not get any x square term here. So we are going to discard this term as well. And same thing happens over here when x square multiplies with 81 over x to the power of 4. So here x square gets multiplied with 81 over x to the power of 4. Now 2x from the numerator gets cancelled and 2x gets cancelled from the denominator, giving us 81 over x square, which is again not a coefficient of x square. This is a coefficient of 1 over x square. So the multiplication of x square with all the 5 terms gives us just one term, that is x square times 216. On a similar basis, we have to multiply 5 with a term which has a coefficient of x square. We cannot multiply 5 with this first term because it is having x to the power of 4. But we can multiply 5 with negative 96 because it has x squared term in it. So here we have written plus 5 times negative 96 times x square. Now 5 with 216 again doesn't give us x square, discard it. 5 with this term, again discard it. 5 with this term, again discard this, because the rest terms are not going to give you x squared term. Now let us simplify this. Now we are going to take only the constants from the x square because we have been asked to take the coefficients. So we are going to take only the coefficients of x square. So 216 from the first term plus 5 times negative 96 gives us negative 480, and 216 minus 480 gives us minus 264. So this is the coefficient of x square in the expansion of these two brackets. This is our answer. Now let us move on to the next question. Find the first 3 terms in ascending powers of x in the expansion of each of the following expressions. The first sub-question is 2 minus p times x, the whole term raised to the power of 5. Now here we have to expand this bracket in ascending powers of x, and we need just 3 terms. Now ascending powers means we have to start from the smallest power of x, that is 0, and keep on increasing it by 1. So let us write down the formula now. Now using this formula, we have expanded 2 minus p times x to the power of 5. Now here n will be equal to 5, a is 2, and b is negative p times x. So in the first term we have written 2 to the power of 5 plus the second term becomes 1 times 2 to the power of 5 minus 1, or the power reduces by 1, giving us 4, times b to the power of 1 becomes negative p times x raised to the power of 1, plus the next term is 2 times 2 to the power of 3, the power has reduced, times negative p times x. Now the power of this increases by 1, giving us 2. Now since they have asked to expand to the first 3 terms, we have written the first 3 terms, that is 1, 2 and 3. So we have to stop over here and simplify this further. So 2 to the power of 5 gives us 32. Now here plus with the minus sign gives us minus. Now let us simplify these numbers. So 1 can be written as 5 c1 times, now this is going to multiply with 2 to the power of 4. So this is going to give us 80. So we have written minus 80 times p times x plus, now let us check for this term. Now here first of all, square of a negative number gives us positive. So positive term with a positive term gives us positive. Now let us see what value this gives us. So 5c2 times 2 to the power of 3 is going to give us 80. So the third term becomes 80 times the power gets distributed to p and x, giving us 80 times p square times x square. So this is the expansion of this given bracket. The second sub-question is 1 minus 1 over 2 times x raised to the power of 4. So let us use the formula now. Now here, using this formula, we have the value of n as 4, a as 1 and b as negative 1 over 2 times x, or we can just say it as negative x over 2. So here we are going to expand this as the first term becomes 1 to the power of 4 plus second term becomes 4 1 times 1 to the power of n minus 1, that is 4 minus 1 gives us 3, times b to the power of 1 becomes negative x over 2 raised to the power of 1 plus, now the third term becomes 4 2 times a is 1, so 1 to the power of n minus 2 that is 4 minus 2 gives us 2 times b square becomes negative x over 2 whole term raised to the power of 2. Now let us simplify this further. Now 1 to the power of 4 gives us 1 itself plus 4c1 gives us 4 times 1 to the power of 3 is 1 itself. So we have not written it over here. Now this is an odd power with a negative term. So it stays as negative. So x to the power of 1 is x over 2 to the power of 1 is 2 plus now 4c2 gives us 6 times 1 square is 1 itself times now square of a negative term makes it positive and this power gets distributed to numerator and denominator giving us x square over 2 square which is 4. Now further simplifying this we get 1 stays as it is. Now plus with a minus gives us minus. Now this 2 in the denominator divides this 4 in the numerator, that is 2 1 times is 2 and 2 2 times is 4 giving us minus 2 times x plus now 6 and 4 go in the table of 2, that is 2 2 times is 4 and 2 3 times is 6 giving us plus 3x square over 2. So these are the first 3 terms which we needed by the expansion of this bracket. Given that the coefficients of x square in the expansion of 2 minus p times x to the power of 5 times 1 minus 1 over 2 times x to the power of 4 is 93. Find the possible values of the constant p. Now here we have expanded already these two brackets to the first 3 terms. So let us consider those now. So this is the expansion of the first bracket which we had got till x square term times this is the expansion of the second bracket which we had got till x square term. So if you are expanding it more, it goes for higher powers of x, that is x cube, x to the power of 4 and so on. So we do not have to expand these two brackets completely. So the first 3 terms which we have got will help you to get the coefficient of x square. Now as I had mentioned earlier that you don't have to multiply each and every term over here. Just multiply the terms that will give you x square. So here we have multiplied 32 with the last term of the second bracket. So 32 times 3x square over 2 gives you the coefficient of x square. Now the second term of the first bracket, when it multiplies with the second term of the second bracket, we get an x square term, that is x times x gives us x square. So minus of minus has given us plus. So plus 80 times px times 2x. Now let us look at the last term. So this has to multiply with 1 to give us the x square term. So 80 times p square times x square times 1 gives us plus 80p square times x square. Now let us simplify this further. So in the first term, 32 times 3 divided by 2 gives us 48x square plus 80 times 2 is 160 times p times x gives us x square plus 80p square x square. So you can see all the coefficients have x square term in them. Now once we have got this, it is given that the coefficient of x square is 93. So we have to take the coefficient of x square from this expression and equate it equal to 93, giving us 48 plus 160p plus 80p square. These are all the coefficients of x square have been equated equal to the coefficient of x square given, that is 93. Now let us take 93 on the other side of equal to sign. So we get 80p square plus 160p. Now plus 93 becomes negative 93 plus 48 equal to 0. Now simplifying this we get 80p square plus 160p. Now minus 93 plus 48 gives us minus 45 equal to 0. Now all the terms on the left hand side are divisible by 5. So dividing all the terms by 5, we simplify this equation as 80 divided by 5 gives us 16 p square. 160 divided by 5 gives us 32 p and minus 45 divided by 5 gives us minus 9 equal to 0. Now we have to factorize this equation which we have got. So I'm going to use the splitting the middle term method. So here we get, now when you're using this method you have to find out two factors in such a way that when you multiply them you should get 16 times negative 9, that is going to be negative 144. And when you add them or subtract them, you have to get the term which is at the center, that is plus 32. So the two factors which we have used here are 36 and negative 4. Because when you multiply them, you get minus 144 and when you subtract them, you get positive 32. So here we have written 16p square plus 36p minus 4p minus 9 equal to 0. Now we are going to group the terms. We are going to group the first two terms and we are going to group the last two terms. And from the first group we have to take out the common factor, which is 4 times p, and it gets multiplied with the remaining term, that is 4p plus 9. So in the second group, negative 1 is a common factor, so we have taken it out, and inside the bracket we have written 4p plus 9 equal to 0. Now 4p plus 9 is a common factor, so we have taken it out, and the second factor becomes 4p minus 1 equal to 0. So these are our two factors. Now we have to equate them equal to 0, giving us 4p minus 1 equal to 0 and 4p plus 9 equal to 0. Now taking negative 1 on the other side of equal to sign, we get p is equal to positive 1, and 4 goes on the other side and divides 1, giving us the first value of p as 1 over 4. Now taking this positive 9 on the other side of equal to sign, we get negative 9, and taking 4 on the other side, it divides negative 9, giving us the value of p as negative 9 over 4. So these are the two values of p which we have got over here. Now let us move on to the third question. The coefficient of x to the power of 7 in the expansion of px square plus 4 over p times x raised to the power of 5 is 1280. Find the value of the constant p. So here we have to expand this given bracket till we get the x to the power of 7 term, and then we have to equate the given coefficient to the term we have got. So let us use the formula over here now. The value of n is 5, a is going to be px square, and b is going to be 4x over p. So substituting their values, we get the first term as px square to the power of 5 plus the second term becomes 5 1 times px square to the power of 4 times 4x over p raised to the power of 1 plus 5 2 times px square raised to the power of 3 times 4x over p to the power of 2 plus 5 3 times px square raised to the power of 2 times 4x over p raised to the power of 3, and so on. As you can see, I have not expanded it further because we do not need it. Out of these terms, we are somewhere going to get x to the power of 7. So keep an eye on the powers of x in each term. So in the first term, this is of the form x to the power of 2 raised to the power of 5. Now this is going to be equal to x to the power of 2 times 5 is going to be 10. This is by using the laws of indices. So the powers will get multiplied over here. So this is not going to give us x to the power of 7. So we are going to discard it. Now let us look at the second term. Now here we have x square to the power of 4. So the powers are going to get multiplied, giving us 2 times 4 as 8 times. Now here we have another x raised to the power of 1. So x to the power of 1. Now there is multiplication between these two x's. So the powers will get added, giving us x to the power of 9. But we are looking for x to the power of 7. So we are going to discard this term as well. So basically the power of x is going to reduce by 1. So for the next term we should get x to the power of 8. So let us check it out. So x to the power of 2 raised to the power of 3. So we get x to the power of 6 times. Now here x is raised to the power of 2. So here we get x to the power of 8. So this has given us x to the power of 8, which we do not need. So this term has to give us x to the power of 7. So let us check it out. So here x to the power of 2 raised to the power of 2. This gives us x to the power of 4 times. Now here we have x to the power of 3. So this is going to give us x to the power of 7, which we need over here. And rest of the terms, they are not going to give you x to the power of 7. The powers of x will keep on reducing. So here we have to take the coefficient of x to the power of 7 and equate it equal to 1280. So here we have written coefficient of x to the power of 7 is equal to, now 5 3 becomes 5c3, giving us the value as 10. Now distributing these powers to this bracket, we get p square times x to the power of 4 times. Now 4 to the power of 3 gives us 64 times x to the power of 3 over p to the power of 3. Now in the next step, we have taken the coefficient of x to the power of 7 given, that is 1280 times x to the power of 7 is equal to, now 10 times 64 gives us 640 times x to the power of 4 times x to the power of 3 gives us x to the power of 7. Now here 2p's in the numerator divides 2p's in the denominator, giving us a single p in the denominator. Now we can cancel x to the power of 7 from both the sides of the equal to sign. So we get here 1280 is equal to 640 over p. Now we are going to exchange the places of 1280 with p. So this is going to give us p is equal to 640 over 1280, and this is going to give us the value of p as 1 over 2. So this is our answer. Now let us move on to the fourth question. Find the first three terms in the expansion of 2 minus 3 over 2 x raised to the power of 5 in ascending powers of x. Now this question is very similar to the second question which we had done in this video. So you can pause the video and give it a try. So let us use the formula now. So here we have to get the first three terms of the given bracket, and the powers of x should be in ascending order, that is starting from the least value, which is 0. So using this formula, we have the value of n as 5, a as 2 and b as negative 3x over 2. So here in place of a to the power of n, we have written 2 raised to 5 plus the second term becomes 5 1 times 2 to the power of 4 times negative 3x over 2 raised to the power of 1 plus the third term is 5 2 times 2 to the power of 3 times negative 3x over 2 raised to the power of 2. So this gives us the first three terms. Now let us further simplify this. So 2 raised to 5 gives us 32 plus 5c1 is 5 times 2 raised to 4 is 16 times, since the power is odd, we get a negative term. So 3x to the power of 1 is 3x over 2 to the power of 1 is 2 plus 5c2 gives us 10 times 2 to the power of 3 gives us 8 times, now square of a negative term becomes a positive term, and 3x square becomes 9x square over 2 square gives us 4. Now in the last step, we have simplified it further. So 32 stays the same. Positive with a negative value gives us negative. Now 5 times 16 times 3 divided by 2 gives us 120 times x plus 10 times 8 times 9, the entire thing divided by 4 gives us 180 times x square. So these are the first three terms of the given bracket. So this is our answer. Now let us move on to the B question. Use your answer to part A with a suitable value of x to find an approximation to 1.985 to the power of 5. Now here we have to compare and equate the bracket which was given in terms of x to this value. So in part A, we had been given this bracket in terms of x raised to the power of 5. So this is equal to 1.985 to the power of 5. Now since the powers are same on both the sides of the equal to sign, we can cancel out the powers. So this gives us 2 minus 3 over 2x is equal to 1.985. Now in the next step, I have written 3 over 2 as 1.5. So 2 minus 1.5x is equal to 1.985. Now let us take the x term on the right hand side and 1.985 on the left hand side. So we get 2 minus 1.985 is equal to, now the negative term becomes positive, giving us 1.5x. So here we get the value of x as 2 minus 1.985. Now this 1.5 goes on the other side of equal to sign and divides this value. So we have shown it over here. So this is going to give us 1 over 100, or in decimals we can write it as 0.01. So this is the value of x. Now since we have been asked to use the answer which we had got in part A to find an approximation of this number, we have taken the expanded terms over here. That was 32 minus 120x plus 180x square. Now we have to just plug in the value of x we have got here in this expression. Now 2 minus 3 over 2 times 0.01 is going to give you 1.985 to the power of 5 is equal to 32 minus 120 times x value is 0.01 plus 180 times 0.01 the whole square. So let us see what value this gives us. So this is going to give us the value as 30.818 as we have written it over here, or you can round it off to 3 significant figures, giving us the approximation as 30.8. So this is our answer. I hope you have understood all the steps and liked the video. And if you have any doubts or questions, then drop down in the comment section below. Also let us know in the comment section which topic would you like us to make the video on next. And thank you for watching.